Two taxi drivers were killed earlier today at the Mandela Drive taxi pickup point in Makassar Heights. Two innocent bystanders wounded. Same week saw additional shootings in Philippi East where two people were killed and four others critically injured, including a school learner and two taxi drivers. In Khayelitsha, a taxi driver was killed and three others injured. What is going on, and most importantly, what needs to be done to address this? One of the taxi associations that is in question is CATA, and spokesperson for CATA, Nkululeko Sityebo, is joining us on the line now. Nkululeko, a very good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Africa, and good afternoon to your listeners as well.
What is fueling... Oh, no, pleasure. What is fueling the violence that is being reported from your sector this last while?
I think it's an ongoing thing that started in mid-June, whereby there were differences between CATA, Lwandle, and CODETA, Umfuleni, whereby the drop-offs and the return were established, or one of the association believed that it's got a right to return in Somerset. That's where the problem. We believe that's the reason of the conflict.
What is the solution, Nkululeko? I do remember having a conversation about this back in June already, and there seemed to have been a series of meetings that was suggesting a possible solution. What is the way to address this so that there's no more killing reported?
Well, first of all, we'd like to, as a CATA region, to send the deepest condolences to the families and the loved ones who lost their lives, and speedy recovery to those who are in hospital. As for CATA region, when it comes to this situation, it's confusing because if you look back from the time the incident took place, where the 6 people or 4 people were shot in Mfuleni, there were engagement and then were arranged by the government, and then as an association, both association CATA and CODETA sit around the table, took an agreement, or the operational agreement, whereby we proposed and agreed that we're going to use the CapeTalk system. The CapeTalk system allows both associations that are operating on that route to have a chance to load. Whether we come first or come late, it doesn't matter as long as the CapeTalk system. You load CATA, I load as CODETA. That was the agreement that we practically agreed on, and then we apply onto it. And then there were some other resolutions that were taken or put in place where that we stated that we're gonna monitor them up until the 20th, which is last week on Wednesday, where we heard that our colleagues or our fellow commuters, which is CODETA, they decided to shut the operations from CATA Lwandle.
So now that agreement clearly is out of the window, right? Given incidents that have been reported of violence and killings. What happened at the meeting today? What has been agreed to?
Unfortunately, it was not a productive meeting today because as CATA, we want to know what went wrong, what was the root cause for CODETA to go close or shut down or stop the operation from CATA side. And then they identified their reason why, of which the primary association of CATA didn't agree on what they are saying. And then there was a few minutes break whereby they wanted to have a caucus, and then we also took a break after lunch hour. And then on to our surprises, when we came back, the meeting didn't continue. They decided that no, they're not going to continue as CODETA. So that's how it ended, the meeting for today. That's why I say, as a CATA region, we are so disappointed when CODETA left the meeting in that manner, meaning that now we are going back to square one. Where were we back in June?
So what happens now? What happens to commuters who need to travel between Mfuleni and Somerset West? What do they do this afternoon, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and going forward?
First and foremost, it's safety first of our commuters. That is our priority. And secondly, the deployment of the police, of the law enforcement agencies, and the police officer, the visibility will ease the situation. At the same time, we also deployed our working committee on all of these hotspot areas, of what we believe is hotspot areas, to marshal the commuters that they can be saved. That's the only thing that we can do now. That's what we normally do when the challenges like this arise. And then we normally make sure that those factors we try at our level best to foresee that we apply them.
So what would have happened then this morning where those measures were clearly not effective in stopping the gunman from shooting at Mandela Drive taxi pickup point in Makhasa Heights?
You know now that's a different place that incident took place. Normally our marshals are deployed at the Somerset in town and then in Somerset Mall. But now in Makhasa, it's a different place whereby it's a small location. It's a smaller town. It's not a town. It's a smaller area whereby there's a small range where everybody thought that is not affected or that is not going to be in the same direction of a cross firing. Let me put it that way, if I can put it in the right way. So that was a different place. It same applies what happened in Philippi East in yesterday in Luzugo. What the incident took place, it has nothing to do with the operations. When you look at it in a bigger picture, it's something that now it's targeting the certain ranks of CATA where the people are, or where the CATA are operating. You understand it? So
but
it's no longer now.
Who's targeting then these ranks, Nkululeko? Who's behind the shooting? Because I go back to my earlier question. We've got commuters who are using your taxi association members' taxis and vehicles this afternoon who will be wanting to do so tomorrow morning. How can we ensure their safety?
Like I said, it's not for us as CATA region to tell or to investigate who is doing the shooting. Just to run back a little bit for you. Before the incident in Philippi East, there was a threat went straight on that office, whereby the members of CATA in the office were threatened by the members of CATA. They give them the 7 days notice that if they don't move there, then they will deal with them. So a week down the line, exactly what happened is what those members have been said. So what are we trying to say here? The police service and the law enforcement agencies must investigate and get the perpetrators into book so that those people can be prosecuted. As for the customers, or which is the commuters, we deeply sorry. That's why we said the police service, the visibility of police service in our areas, it will make easy life, or it will ease the situation. And then the presence of our marshals also in the rank areas can also identify or pick up something when it's going wrong. Okay. But it is not 100% security that we can say no, our commuters are safe. But the one thing we want to do is to make sure that this doesn't also affect them. But we don't know who's doing it for what good reason.
All right. So CATA participants to the meeting came back from a small break, basically indicating they don't want to continue with the meeting. Do they give any indication as to when they will be willing to come back to the negotiation table, one? And two, this member association that is clearly not in agreement with CATA regarding their earlier agreement, are they going to be engaging with them?
Your question number one, there was no indication that these gentlemen when we're gonna have a meeting, or why they disagree or they go against the agreement that we agree on. There's no indication that we don't know about. As for CATA, we are ready, or we want to sit around the table, and then we want to practice what we've been trained or been told by the government. They say we need to sit around the table and resolve the issues, not to go and then act to those acts that we always implicated on, that the taxi industry, CATA and CATA are fighting. We want to sit with our colleagues with CATA, sit around the table, continuing to engage them, but we cannot force them to come on the meeting if they are not willing. And then at the same time, if the decision or the agreement that we agreed on, they don't agree on to it means that they mustn't come to the meeting. We cannot force them.
Nkululeko, was the Western Cape Department of Mobility, I think it's called now, in the meeting with you and CATA earlier today?
No, they were not there today.
Should they not be in that meeting?
it depends the motive, or it depends the scenario or the situation. First, normally in most cases, we first sit as these two primary associations. We discuss, we engage each other the way we normally engage, and then thereafter for the witness, the government will always be there. Will be there at a later stage to foresee what steps have we taken in order to remedy the situation or to solve the problem. But for today, it was the status, because the last time we had a meeting on the 18th, we agreed that on the 28th, which is on Thursday, we will have the meeting whereby we'll iron out everything regarding the operation in Somerset to Mfula. And then, to our surprise, that's what happened now. That's why we wanted to first have a meeting with these two associations to first know, guys, we agreed that on the meeting on the 18th, that on the 28th, we will have the meeting with everything now. We will sign the document, and then the MOA that is drafted by government. Then thereafter, the government will be present at a later stage in the following meeting, so that everything is signed and sealed. That is the aim. But now we wanted to find out what was the root cause first. The reason why we said it's a root cause is simply because it's against the agreement that we agreed upon before it was sent to government. Remember the agreement that we had between CATA and COTA, the government was not there. We only gave the outcome of the agreement, that we're gonna operate in this way, and then the government took the agreement and then looked into it and nullified it into one document, and then we gave us back with questions that we believe that we need to answer, and then in order for them as a government to issue the operating licenses.
Yeah. I do hope the meeting on the 28th will go ahead as scheduled, and I do hope that you will get to a point you sign a memorandum of agreement. Nkululeko Sityebo, thank you very much for your time. Spokesperson for CATA, one of the two taxi associations, the other being CATA, that were part of a meeting in Central City earlier today, which unfortunately proved less than successful.